Yo, Henry Average use Slo-Pitch. Today we're getting a chance to bring out the Worth Bedlam, and yes, the Bedlam line is Phil Matt's. However, he's not 40, so this doesn't have his name on it. But either way, this is a 13.5 inch XL, so that half ounce end load. For those who aren't aware, with Worth XXL would be your full ounce end load. But we're gonna go ahead, throw this thing on the tester, see where it tests at. Just because I know senior ball is gonna go to testing here in the very near future. I think it's here in 2025. So just so you have an idea of where it starts at, why it sounds, feels, all that kind of stuff the way it does. Then we'll come back with final compression, final thoughts after 50, 75 swings, whatever it is that kind of our senior guys out here determine this kind of feels that game ready, good feel there. And then at the end, I will take just a handful of swings so that throughout the year, I can kind of give my kind of 2 cents on how the different senior bats compare, how they feel, things like that. But let's get some swings on it, come back, let you know how it felt, and with those final thoughts. All right, just because I know senior bats, they're going to start doing testing. I think it's either here in 2020, I think it's here in 2025. But either way, this is our Bedlam senior bat. Again, 13.5 inch barrel, XL end load. Dial that guy up to 0. And starting just a hair over 200. So honestly, pretty good starting point from what we've seen with some of the senior bats. We're going to go out here, get some swings on it. We got a couple of our senior players, and then as normal, I'm just going to take a few at the end just to kind of see how it feels, and so as we go throughout the year, I'll be able to provide kind of a comparison on my thoughts from one bat to the next.
Worth Bedlam senior bat, XL 13.5 inch and 26 ounces. Boy, end of the bat works.
85 miles per hour.
There's a sweet spot right there.
82 miles per hour.
That's also because they make senior crushed.
Wow, at 82.
That's also because they make
89 miles per hour.
And the crazy part about it is if I sit here and get accustomed to this flex and then I get one that's a little bit stiffer, I won't like it. But yeah, this thing is crazy.
95 miles per hour.
Sorry, Junior.
89 miles per hour.
Never mind, PK likes to flex.
87 miles per hour.
Okay, so that's at Worth XL Bedlam 13.5 inch senior. Massive flex on it. Feels really good. I don't want to get dependent on that much flex, but it's still a wonderful bat as long as you square it up.
All right, again, that Worth Bedlam 13.5 XL, so half ounce. Obviously, we saw PK swing it. We were supposed to have kind of 2 of our senior players out here, but one of them had to get called into work, didn't make it. So I'm just gonna throw a handful of swings on it just so I have something to kind of compare to throughout the year. And then obviously from the previous ones we've had on the channel.
105 miles per hour.
That was a nice 50% swing.
97 miles per hour.
Oh man, you're right though. You definitely can feel the flex in it. So as PK mentioned, if you're somebody coming from U-Trip, you got a fast bat speed still, you've been swinging stiffer stuff, this is going to be, for me, it seems like more for either guys with slower bat speed as you get older, because obviously senior ball anywhere from 39 onwards. So just something to keep in mind. But I'll give a few 100% swings and just see how that flex affects it, and kind of go from there. Oh no!
100 miles per hour.
Now still 100 off the handle. I could feel the barrel kind of whip through on the bad swing, and that, I think that whip from the flex is what still gave us off the handle at 100.
108 miles per hour.
Yeah, and that's plenty of swings. Again, not a senior player by any means. Just, we have different guys on the channel all the time, so I want to have a little bit of consistency by taking some of the swings, be able to give kind of that feedback. But again, really good feel off this barrel. Definitely gives you good feedback, but it is definitely very flexy, or on the flexier side, I should say. So like that last swing, it was close to 100% swing, and I could tell that it didn't really increase the overall performance from like that 75% because this helps you so much. So if you're somebody looking for that extra flex to really help the bat through, this seems like a great option. Honestly though, I could still I'd be perfectly comfortable still gaming this one. Just make sure you BP it, get used to it. But let's go ahead, see what this tests at, and we'll go with final thoughts. All right, let's see where our senior Bedlam finished between PK swings and then kind of the 15, 20 swings I ended up taking. We put about 75 swings here on the senior Bedlam. See where this thing tests at for those that care as senior bats go to the testing, which I believe is 140 is gonna be their min limit. And this one's sitting a little over 175, so probably 180 or so. So either way, plenty of wiggle room if you're somebody who's gonna concern themselves with that testing as they switch to that, but otherwise just some information for you there after the 75 or so 44 375s. All right, and we're complete here with the Worth Bedlam senior bat. Again, this is a 13.5 inch barrel XL, so half ounce end load. And if you've seen the previous Worth Bedlam videos from the USSSA side, still got that glossier paint job they've kind of upgraded to this year. Still has that kind of nice crisp barrel. The big difference with this one from the USSSA ones, and obviously it's a whole different sanction. They're building this for older players, that whole 40 plus senior market. And the same thing we heard PK talk about is this one to me did feel like it was a little flexy, or pretty darn flex, I should say. So like a flex handle, but I think it makes sense because, well, again, the senior market ranges anywhere from 40 onward. So it's a pretty big range they got to go with there. But that extra flex lets you honestly not have to overswing, and it lets the barrel do all the work for you. And so PK mentioned it as well, where he felt like this might be for guys with maybe slower swing speed. You don't get to hit as often because you got that longer barrel. But even for me, I'm not a huge flex fan. I took some swings at kind of that 75%, 80% kind of range, got great performance. And then when I went to kind of a full swing, yeah, I could feel the flex a little more. Wasn't quite catching exactly where I wanted to because of the extra flex. But as you can see, there's ball marks all up and down this barrel. We never really saw a performance drop off. And so as we saw with the USSSA bats as well, whether it's the slightly crisper barrel, the gloss paint job, whatever it is, the ball's carrying great off of these kind of regardless of what we're seeing exit velo wise. We still saw really good exit velos, don't get me wrong. But when we caught the sweet spot, nice feel. You could tell you were on the sweet spot, ball carried really well, saw good speeds. And then as you kind of missed up or high or low of that sweet spot, you could still tell where you caught it. There was no sting on the hands. But you still saw the ball kind of carry, didn't want to come down, making this a great option, obviously, for the senior game as well. And so if you're somebody who's been looking for maybe a little bit of a flexier handle, or you don't get to BP a lot, maybe just go out, play league, the occasional tournament, you just want something that's going to give you that forgiveness with that longer type barrel, this is going to be a great option over there at that 13.5. And so you saw the compression there at the end as well. If you do play where once they obviously start testing the senior bats, again, I believe it's 140 is going to be the threshold. There's still tons of room to break this thing as well. There's a few webs starting a little bit. I can see it in the kind of silver paint of the Worth side. But other than that, I mean, I would expect it on a bat that's sub 200 kind of compression. So obviously that makes it different from the USSSA side where it's got to be at 240 or above. You're not going to see that as much. But what the webbing tells me is that it's breaking through that kind of gloss paint as well and really opening this thing up. And so with that being said, I think this is a great option for the senior game. Obviously, if you've been looking at some other models, go check out those videos, whether we've swung them. Big Chef does some great jobs over on the senior side, and I know there's a ton of other reviewers out there that do senior bats. But for the guys that maybe have, again, a little bit slower swing speed, you like the flex, whatever it is, great option from Worth. The Bedlam line this year is, honestly, in my mind, improved over last year. Not only with just the feel and then this kind of glossier paint, but with just the way the ball carries as well. And so if you decide to grab one of these, you can get it with a discount over at headbangersports.com using discount code ADS. These are also still available on Worth's website. We don't have a code for you there. Or if you just like help ordering, maybe you have some questions before you want to order, look down in the description of this video. We've got our link tree there. You'll have a contact info for us as well as links, discount codes to help you out on maybe any other gear you decide to grab. Or simply go to averagedudeslowpitch.com, use the contact us page, reach out. I will get back to you, answer your questions, help you out the best I can so we can get the correct bat in your hands that'll suit kind of your swing and your game. But with that being said, hopefully this is helpful, helped you decide whether or not you want to grab this Bedlam, maybe a different model you've been looking at, or hold on to what you currently have. Either way, thanks for supporting the channel. Have a great day.